Welcome back to Sunday Sports Extra. We're joined by Luke Jackson, of course, former Oregon basketball legend, now the head coach at Northwest Christian, entering his second year in charge of the Beacons. And Luke, last year you guys made it to the NAIA National Tournament for the first time in school history. You've already started your second season. You guys opened up with a win over British Columbia. How do you feel heading into this second year? Do you feel more comfortable being in charge of a basketball team?
Absolutely. And, I'm just as excited as I was last year. Obviously, we finished the season on a really high note, and we're just looking to jumpstart what we did last year into this season.
What did you learn the most, the number one lesson you learned in your first year as a head coach that you're taking to this year?
Absolutely, the number one lesson that I learned in our league, we play back-to-back, Friday, Saturday. So that means you have to have a really, really deep bench, going deep into your bench. So we tried to bring in some guys in the off season, had a great recruiting class, so I'm excited to get it underway.
Let's talk about the new guys. You lost Spencer Coleman and Colton Baker, two local guys who are D1 transfers and played very well for you last year. Who'd you bring in? What names should we know about for this season?
Well, we had a few Division I transfers, Omar Richards from Binghamton, Jack Hackman from University of Hawaii, Jay Miranek from Thurston High School, Division II Freshman of the Year Michael Loomis, and some other really, really good players. So I think the future is going to be bright. You
guys, for the second straight year, are going to play at the University of Oregon, your former team. You play them on Tuesday. It's the first game for the Ducks, the second game for you. Since you're playing them, I know you've been scouting them a little bit, so I want to get your scouting report on the Ducks this year. What do you think of this year's Oregon team?
I think this year's Oregon team is very, very talented. Obviously, there was a high turnover from last year, and last year's team was really, really talented. One of the most talented teams that's ever played at Oregon. But returning Elgin Cook and Joe Young, I mean, those two guys right there can lead you to at least a middle of the pack in the Pac-12, I believe. And once Chandler gets healthy, I think that they're going to be a really, really dangerous team. Dana Altman's a good coach. He's going to find a way to get those guys to win, so we're going to have our hands full for sure.
How do you approach this game from a Northwest Christian perspective for your team?
Well, I want it to be a learning experience. We look at the game just like any other game, try and execute our game plan to the best of our ability, and just bring a fight to the game like we would any other time. Obviously last year they got the best of us by quite a bit, so we want to go in there and have a great showing.
Switching away from this year's team, you were inducted into the Oregon Hall of Fame recently, along with Luke Ridnour and Freddie Jones, and we remember the highlights from you guys playing together so well. What was the experience like being inducted into the Hall of Fame?
It was just a tremendous experience for me. I grew up in Eugene and surrounding areas, so like this year they honored the Kenny Wheaton pick. I was at that game. There's very few people that have as much love for the U of O as me, so it was great to come back, see all my former classmates and teammates and everybody, and just be honored by the school. So it's a great privilege for me to play there.
Very cool. Luke Jackson, thanks for joining us on Sunday Sports Extra. The Northwest Christian Beacons play at Matthew Knight Arena against the Ducks on Tuesday at 7.